have a cup of tea and go off again, so to let me get on with my life. You know, I don't want it to be a big brother state or a nanny state. We need to be fit enough and well enough to live independently, but then also have the support so that when we do need help, it's there.
We had kind of, you know, I don't know, 20 or 30 years kind of post-war of a relatively kind of stable understanding of what the welfare state was, and probably from kind of like the mid-80s on, that's kind of been being disrupted, and that again allied to the so-called demographic time bomb means that I think there's a lot of cultural anxiety and anxiety from policymakers, as I say, about sustainability.
Yeah, I think we have had an extraordinary, this generation. None of our children have gone to war, personally. I have never been terrified in my life or hungry. We had been very shielded. And then when the war was over, health service, free education, healthy children, orange juice, obviously been anxieties.
Recognition.
You don't want the feeling that you haven't
you haven't achieved
anything.
I want to do something as well that has made a statement to other people, like has actually that I've had an effect on other people before I'm 50. Because imagine that not actually feeling like you've made an effect in anybody else's life.
I don't want to leave this earth until I've sort of made a marker.
That is my biggest regret of life, that I never buckled down into a book, you know, or even with my hand. Because I love it today. I still paint. I still enjoy all facets of it.
I'd hate to be 50 and just look at myself and be like, this is not what I wanted.
Yeah, or you had a chance to do something, you never took it. Like that's the kind of regret I'm talking about, not doing something stupid.
I never want to feel like I've played it safe.
I think that the outlook isn't good, really.
And perhaps the fact that there's over-consumerism is going to be a big thing. I mean, it's over-consumerism, and I don't think it's made anybody any happier.
So I'm shitting myself about what the world's going to be like by the time I'm 50.
Yeah, no, I'm scared too. I'd be happy to live in just a like self-serving society where it didn't evolve. As long as people weren't uncomfortable and were happy, then I'd be fine. I don't see why we need to just keep evolving until...
Exciting.
Yeah, it's exciting, but it's also scary at the same time because you don't know who's in charge. If you were in charge, it'd be good, but it's the people at the top.
I mean, legacy's hard. I mean, what I would hope to have produced in a similar manner is some good signs that other people can take forward, really. And eventually that you know, if there's not a direct impact from what I do, that someone can take that and produce a direct impact for society.
My own relationship with ageing is, I think, very much related to kind of things about fear of decline, fear of losing capacity, and just kind of a general determination to kick and scream against that.
From what I've seen in life, I don't think I know lots, because I think the older you are,
the more you learn,
the more you realise you don't know anything at all. Which is, you know, I'm not making that up. But I really do believe that. I think, you know, if we just try to live simply and try not to make too much mess and try to, I don't know, try to understand that it's not our world. It's the whole thing about, you know, cycles. Because I mean, my great fear is what are we leaving for our children? That really is my biggest anxiety as I get older and as I approach the stage where my children will start having their own children. God knows who want to marry them or have children with them, but we've been so greedy as a society, as a people. We've been so greedy, and our sense of entitlement is so huge. And I just hope that I've tried to teach my children, if you're healthy, you're eating well, you don't really need much more than that, because it doesn't matter how wealthy you are. If you're not well, what could you do with it?
Finally, public engagement and what should be done with this research. During this process, which I have undertaken with a filmmaker, Gavin Porter, we have tried to keep the research open. This has led to sometimes surprising responses and for the content to be emergent.
I think public engagement is massively important. And I think historically it's something that scientists haven't been very good at. And I think it's about catching up with technology and making the science accessible.
The practice of kind of critical reading that I bring to say kind of media representations of science is something that I would want to be able to share with more people. So at the moment, I'm not doing enough of that. At the moment, most of my work is written for academic publications. I mean, and this would be part of hopefully what public engagement would be about.
The notion of creating a form of participation and exploration, fusing art and science, where ideas are constantly emergent and discoursed in a public arena, is very exciting to me and is what has led me towards the idea of a multidisciplinary festival of ageing that engages across the generations, exploring science and society.